So which job am I applying for? You see a lot of job descriptions: cloud engineer, cloud solutions architect, AWS developer, AWS cloud engineer, lead platform engineer. A lot of jobs, a lot of acronyms, different job titles, different job requirements, and so on. And you're overwhelmed. Which kind of job do you want to apply for? You want to watch this video to the end, as I'll be sharing with you 5 things which you must take into consideration if you want to start applying for DevOps and cloud computing roles. If you're not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, check out my other videos on cloud computing, DevOps, how to prepare effectively for a career in DevOps, how to ace yourself for your DevOps interviews, and of course, how to get yourself the right job in the DevOps and cloud space. Now, the very first thing which I'll share with you is the cloud space is very vast. We have experts on Amazon Web Service, we have experts on Microsoft Azure, we have experts on Google Cloud, we have companies that are using Microsoft Azure, we have companies that are using Amazon Web Service, we have companies that are making use of all these tools. And other companies, by virtue of these tools which you see the main cloud providers offering, they try to build other third-party softwares or third-party applications that can collaborate with the existing cloud technologies. So there's a lot of tools and a lot of technologies which these companies or which different companies are making use of. And all these technologies are still to solve the basic needs of companies. Companies want to be able to manage their data with storage. They want to be able to manage their compute resources. They want to be able to manage their databases. They want to be able to manage the web servers running the applications and how to secure the applications and so on. So with these so many technologies and so many of third-party tools, there is a lot involved in the cloud landscape. So the first thing you should have at the back of your mind is the cloud landscape is vast. Numerous technologies, many companies. Some companies don't even know what their company requirement actually is. And with this vast diversity of tools, diversity of technologies, you find a lot of job descriptions targeting this vast landscape. Now this leads to my second thing. There are many cloud jobs or many cloud and DevOps related jobs. If you go to a job search platform, if you were just to put keywords like DevOps or cloud computing, you will see so many job titles. And one thing I always say is the job titles don't necessarily reflect what you might be doing if you're being granted that job in the company. So many companies don't really know what they want when they're looking for an expert. Other companies actually know what they want. Like, okay, now we need a Kubernetes administrator to come and manage our Kubernetes clusters. Others might say we need a Kubernetes expert to come and provision a Kubernetes cluster for us, but they are not yet ready for a Kubernetes cluster. And other companies might say we need an expert to come and secure our environment, whereas they just need someone to come and monitor the environment. So there are different job titles, and with these different job titles, there is a little bit of confusion if you can actually fit in any of those. So the first thing which I mentioned is the cloud landscape is vast, and then now there are so many job titles. So how can you cope with this very vast landscape and with these so many job titles? That brings us to my third point. You must be able to effectively analyze the key responsibilities which these different jobs require. If you see a job being posted on LinkedIn or Dice or Indeed or any job search platform, try to take a look at the responsibilities. What do they need? Do we need an expert who has experience in managing cloud infrastructure? Do we need an expert who has experience in automating infrastructure? Do we need an expert who has experience in maybe microservice architectures? What does the company need? You must be able to identify what the companies need. And every company, before putting out a job there, they know what they need. So you check their key responsibilities, and it is based on those key responsibilities that you can have an idea if you can effectively handle that job. With that, you know, okay, they need someone who has experience in Kubernetes. Do I have experience in Kubernetes? If you do have limited experience, before going for a job interview, you might want to upskill yourself with respect to Kubernetes. If they need someone who has experience with infrastructure automation, if you do have a little bit of experience with Terraform, you want to upskill yourself before going for a Terraform interview. So whatever the case or the job description you find out there, be it on a job search platform like LinkedIn or Dice or Indeed, take your time to analyze the key responsibilities around those jobs. Do not be scared based on the title you see. Once again, if you're not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button. And if you're currently interviewing, there is this great platform which I recommend to you, www.wonderprep.com, a platform that can help you effectively ace your next DevOps and Cloud interview. Go right there, create an account, and exploit the vast wealth of resources which they have with respect to DevOps and Cloud interview preparation. Now, the fourth tip which I'll share with you is, despite the key responsibilities which this job might have, you want to understand the skills and qualifications which is needed for every given job. So what will be prompting you to maybe apply for a particular job will be based on the skills and qualifications rather than the responsibilities. Because every job they post, you see a position where they say these are the responsibilities of whoever is going to have this job, and then below they'll say these are required skills. So when you look at the responsibilities, your focus should not be on the responsibilities or even the job title. Your focus should be more on the key skills. What do they need? Do they need someone who has experience with Amazon Web Service? If they need someone who has experience with Amazon Web Service, which Amazon Web Service technologies or tools do they need? Do they need someone who has experience with infrastructure automation? Do they need someone with experience with microservices, with Docker, with Kubernetes, with Jenkins? What are the skills they need? And if you can identify the skills which the companies need, that will be the decision, or that will be the decision line if you can apply for such a job or not. Your focus should not be on the job title you see out there. So some people say, okay, I'm not going to apply for this job because they say AWS developer. I don't have development experience. Some will say, I will not apply for this job because they say cloud platform engineer. I'm not a platform engineer. So if you're actually attentive to look at the skills, you will know that despite this company calling this a particular name per job, you might have the right skill set to occupy that job. So focus more on the skill set. What skills do they need? Who do they need for this job? Do they need someone who can do this? Do they need someone who can do this? Whatever. What do they need as skills? And if you can identify those required skills, you will now know if you can effectively apply for such a job or not. So look out for the skills and qualifications needed for that given role. Now, the last tip which I'll share with you is the cloud industry has possibilities for growth. Some companies hire people just based on the communication skills they have during interviews, and they take such a person. For the first 2 months, first 3 months, that person is going through training. I know of someone who was interviewed for a position as an Amazon Web Service expert, and they got a job, and the first 2 weeks of that job, they were being trained on Google Cloud. That is because the cloud industry has possibilities of growth. So if you want to get into the cloud industry and you're limiting yourself based on maybe a particular job title, you see cloud engineer, I can only do cloud engineer roles, or I can only do DevOps engineer roles, you're selling yourself short. It's an industry where you can grow, and with such mindset, you can effectively get into a role, practice in that role, and after your experience, and after your practice, and after your training in that role, you transition to the next role. So have the mindset that you can grow professionally once you transition into the DevOps and cloud space, and based on that, you definitely will not be looking for jobs based on the job title. You'll be based on the skill set. So your focus should be building the right skill set to occupy different DevOps and different cloud roles. Once you have this different skill set for DevOps engineering roles, different skill sets for cloud engineering roles, different skill sets for security roles, so you find that you're not getting difficulties getting a job in DevOps and cloud computing. So a lot of people don't get these jobs because they are limiting themselves with the job titles. Now, an extra tip for you is be intentional about your job applications. In a day, make it a must to send out a minimum of 10 applications a day. Make it a must to send a minimum of 10 applications a day. If you're not ready to send out 10 applications a day, you shouldn't be ready to get a job, because the DevOps market is very, very, very competitive. Send out as many job applications as possible. Constantly be in the process of learning and studying. For every job you see, check the responsibilities, check the title, check the responsibilities, check the skill set. Keep on building more skill set, and as you keep building more skill set, you'll be able to fit in any job you see with respect to DevOps and cloud computing. Do these things, and I'm very much sure that in no time you should get yourself a job around DevOps and cloud computing. Once again, if you're not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button. If there's any video you want me to do content about, leave that in the comment section. And if you're not yet a member of my DevOps community, check the link in the channel and join my DevOps community, and voila, get yourself a DevOps and a cloud job this year.